Hello, Alex Schneiderman here, and I'm here on the last day of the Camera Helps showing at the Bodleian in Oxford. This is the 30th of November, and it's really quite a sad moment because it seems all too quick that the exhibition is coming to a close. It's been, I suppose, 18 months' work with Patricia, Paddy's widow, and we've come to the end, and it's been a phenomenal success. I mean, the comments have been fantastic, and one of the great things is, and I'll show this to you now, is looking at people who are just intrigued by the photography. These are people who haven't come to the show to see it. These are people who are just passing through the Bodleian, the Western Library or Blackwell Hall, and they have just found Paddy's photography to be totally captivating. And in a way, it is exactly what photography should do, and this is where photography should be shown, in public spaces where the general public have access to it. Not to a photo crowd necessarily, of people who are familiar with the language of photography and the work that Paddy does, or any, or a familiarity with the work of photography in general, but a body of people who are randomly selected, if you like, according to their presence in a space that has not been planned or researched in advance. And these people come along and they look at the work, and you can see just by just every time I've been here, I've seen people just locked to some of the images, and that is what photography is about. And if I'm honest, I think photography suffers from speaking only to one cohort. The easiest cohort, of course, and it's the one that's knowledgeable about photography. It's the one that where we understand the common touchstones of photography, and we make books for them, we make exhibitions for them, and we spend all our energy trying to appeal to that one body. But when you're making documentary photography such as this, like Paddy's work, it's about people, and the work is always focused on people. It's always about people, so it should be people that see it, not people who are defined by their inclusion and knowledge of the world of photography, but the people about whom the work is made. This exhibition, I mean, this display here, Tony Lights Up, is a perfect example. This is a chap who Paddy was friends with. He's a sort of street character, and Paddy made a sequence of images for him. Now, it's in these pictures, it's one of the magical things about photography. They have been made in an instant. They were made over the course of about a few seconds, really, this sequence, sometime in the past, of a person who Paddy knew and would bump into often, and decades later they appear on a wall in a public space where thousands of people can see them. I mean, it's really quite an amazing and exciting product of advertising, exhibiting. It's really wonderful. All the different ways that you can offer people to interact with stories about themselves, and this is about people. This is about how we live with ourselves. I mean, Paddy's work is common to everybody, because we all have this central paradox about how we are in the world and how we exist in our own skins when the world is so frightening. And if the world is frightening on the outside, it can be twice as terrifying on the inside. And anybody who knows about, for example, mental illness, will know that the world on the inside, and has anybody who's experienced that kind of mental illness, which Paddy certainly did, will know that the world on the inside can be multiple times more terrifying than the world on the outside. And so his work is about everybody who comes to see it, and that is why people have been connecting with it. People who don't know photography, but they have a sense of themselves and a sense of the people around them, and so on. The Oxford Pictures here it was made. Well, Paddy began to make it after he left a mental institution, after several months in a residency there. And it's about alienation, it's about feeling cut off, it's about sex as well, about feeling, not having access to all the things that young people have about themselves. And so it was about the student, it's about the students of Oxford, it was about him as a young man, and people respond to it accordingly. And of course, if we come into this side of the exhibition, we have we have Empty Days, and this is about the alienated spaces that he lived in, and the people, and it was about the impending storm of his own mental position, if you like, that all too frequently turned into a hospitalization. Home Movie on the other side, okay, this is about the impending storm, and Home Movie over here is about things falling apart, and that's why I designed it with one tilting image, because that was it. It was like the fragmentation of his mind, and that was what created that meant that was what led him into the hell and the torment of his bipolar disorder. But there's always calmness, and there is hope in Paddy's work. And I think that when we look at, say, the holiday pictures behind me here, there's joy, and there's peace in there, a sort of a peace that he found in it. And that's why we titled the exhibition "The Camera Helps," because I think for Paddy it really did help. I think that Paddy found his photography to be a way of negotiating the world that was often quite hostile to him, and in a way that made sense of the world to him. And I think I recognize something about that in photography myself. And of course, Mother and Father, the sequence that started it all. That Dowie Lewis had the perception and the sensitivity to spot as being a truly great body of work that Patricia helped put together, and that started the whole story of Paddy's publishing life that came all too late for him, but just in time at the same time. And so I'm so proud to have had this opportunity to bring this body of work, to design a sequence, to put this on the wall for everybody for thousands and thousands of people to see. And it's been an absolute joy, and I wish that it wasn't ending now. Thank you. Bye.